Hello, welcome back to Cray Outdoors. So this episode is going to be my opening day trout fishing video. Technically, trout season doesn't really close here in New York State anymore. As you know from my last video, lakes and ponds are open to year-round trout fishing. They have also opened our inland trout streams to year-round catch and release artificial lures only fishing. That said, April 1st, it's still just tradition to get out fishing on that day, and it's the first day of the season where you're allowed to target trout in the creeks with bait and harvest trout. So we stayed local here in Chautauqua County. I started off on my local stocked trout stream. It was a struggle, man. I didn't get a single fish there. I don't know, maybe we had some high water that might have washed out the stocked trout right before opening day. They stocked the trout, the creek got high, there was a bit of a flood, and then the creek dropped back down again. In fact, conditions were actually low and clear on opening day, so I didn't catch a single thing at the stocked stream. From there, I headed to a local wild stream where I filmed that secret trout in an unexpected place or something like that video last year. I saw a lot of trout in that creek. I spooked a lot of fish, but once again, the conditions were low and clear, so I had a hard time actually catching anything. I was really spooking the fish before I could get to them. I did catch one wild brown trout there, so here's the video of that. Alrighty. First wild brownie of the season. Is it a brown and a bow? I think it's a brown. Yep, brown. It's not huge, but I'll take it. Not small. Not small, not big. Kinda maybe the larger size of the average for a wild. Alright, Mr. Brown guy. There he goes. So at least we got one fish there. We were no longer skunked, but I was still struggling on opening day, so I spent my last hour right here at my apartment. Last year I discovered, last summer, that there was actually trout in what's essentially a drainage ditch behind my apartment. It actually is a creek. It does have a name, but it's essentially a drainage ditch with a big hole. It's just this little tiny piece of water, but there is a huge hole right behind my apartment, and the local kids like to swim there. So I had been so discouraged at this point, thinking that I wasn't going to be able to get you a decent opening day video, that I decided to just go back down to that hole behind my apartment with a couple of beers and some nightcrawlers and cast it out, just let it sit on the bottom and see what bites, see if I could maybe end the day with one of the big brown trout that were in there. And my plan worked out. We ended things on a high note. We caught a couple of nice trout and a couple of suckers as well. Got something on here. Yeah, there's a trout. There's a trout on here. Looks like a good trout too. It's not huge, but I'll take it. Wild fish number 2 of the day. I think it's another brown. Fight harder in here than the last spot. Definitely another brown. I missed a huge one in here last year. This one is definitely not huge. It's a fighter though, I'll tell ya. Bigger than the last one. Got him. Alrighty. Pretty fish in this little creek. Alright. He's ready to go. Alrighty, a wild fish on opening day. Swim up, buddy. Up. There you go. Oh, and it came off. That was a walleye that time. That time, that was definitely a walleye. I think he bit through my line. He did. bit me off. Another something. What we got this time? I think it's another trout. It's another suckerfish, I think. Suckerfish. Hitting a sucker run here at the end of the night. Woohoo! Suckers are fun. It's a big sucker. Wowee. If the suckers are just a little bit smaller, I would consider keeping them for bait. Also, if you get one that's shooting eggs at any point, I would actually consider keeping that as well. Somebody's not shooting any eggs. I consider keeping one for the eggs for steelhead as well. Sucker spawn works quite well. Love these barbless hooks, they pop right out. Of course I say that, and this one it's gonna be a hard time. Whoa. Alright, buddy. He's still stuck. Uh-oh. Okay, he's off. So I didn't get it on film. Unfortunately, my camera had died. I had done so much filming that day. I was so confident, especially at the stock trout stream, that I was doing a lot of filming. I was like filming every single cast, thinking that I was gonna get some action on film for you, but 90% of the day was a failure. So I did a lot of filming for nothing, and when I finally did get a big trout at the end, at the ditch behind my apartment, my camera died. So I didn't get it on film, but I did get a picture. Some folks were walking by. They were drinking more than I was. Holy cow, they were able to catch my picture, and they were excited to see that I got a big trout. So like I said, it was a fun end to the day. Yeah, I'm gonna let them go. They're wild in here. They're not stocked or nothing, so go so I can catch them again. I hope you enjoyed today's fishing adventure. I ended things on a high note. It started off a struggle, but you know what? There's no place like home. So, if you're ever discouraged, just check out your backyard and see what you can catch back there. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next fishing adventure.